Sean here. In this video, we're going to discuss the 6 essential exercises that you should be including in your exercise program. Without further delay, let's dive in. So number 1, we have push. We have 180 pushing angles to choose from. Number 2 is pull. Similarly, 180 pulling angles. So don't just limit yourself to the horizontal push and pull and the vertical push and pull. Number 3, we have our squat. 4, lunge. 5, hinge. Can be on 2 legs or single leg. And 6, we have our carries or loaded carries. So you're walking, carrying something. Carrying something in one hand would be called a suitcase carry. 2 hands is referred to as a farmer walk. There's a bear hug carries, carrying something on your shoulder, carrying something overhead. You get the idea. Lots of ways to carry stuff. So what do all these have in common? Well, you've probably realized by now that they are all movements that we perform in our everyday lives. It's pretty hard to go through a day without performing at least one of these movements, unless you're lying down in bed all day. So, keeping in mind that these are movements we need to perform essentially for the rest of our lives, it's important that we keep training these movements. How many times do you sit down a day into a chair? How many times do you sit down to go to the bathroom? We want to make sure we are able to continue performing this squat movement for the rest of our life. Carrying bags of groceries. We're carrying stuff all the time. Pushing doors open, pulling doors open. Reaching up overhead to put something up on a shelf. How often do you get down like this and, what do we have to eat in the fridge today? Hinging. We hinge to pick things up. We go down on one foot to pick things up. These are used very, very frequently in our everyday lives, so they're important to train. The other important point to point out is that these are multi-joint movements, also referred to as compound movements, meaning essentially you're using a lot of muscle mass to perform each of these movements, which is a good thing if you are trying to build overall body strength and increase your muscle mass. If you only ever performed these movements and you did nothing else, you did no isolation work, no bicep curls, no leg extensions, you would still build a very good balanced physique. You'd be strong. You can build a lot of strength and muscle mass just focusing on these movements. If you haven't read the blog that I wrote on this, please read it, because this is supposed to kind of go with the blog post. Anyhow, I hope that helped, and please comment below if you have any questions, and thanks for watching.